Hello and welcome to episode 4 of QuickStep's Quick Guide, the series where I quickly guide you through the various aspects of Minecraft, teaching you the basics you need to know in order to play the game. This episode is focused on enchanting, a subject I touched on very briefly in the last episode. Click the card in the top right if you want to check it out. First I'll show a basic enchanting setup, then I'll show you how to craft it all. So here we go. So obviously we have an enchanting table, there's a grindstone for disenchanting, a crafting table, an anvil for combining enchantments, 15 bookshelves, and a chest containing lapis lazuli. Now let's have a look at how to craft it all. If you're at the point where you're ready to start enchanting, then you've probably already collected a fair bit of leather from killing cows. Another thing you've probably found a lot of is sugarcane. If not, you're going to have to collect some before you start enchanting. That's because you need to place 3 sugarcane in a horizontal line in a crafting table to make 3 pieces of paper. Then place all 3 pieces anywhere in the crafting table with a single piece of leather to craft a book. 3 obsidian along the bottom and another in the middle with a diamond on each side and a book above creates the enchanting table. Then 3 planks across the bottom and 3 across the top with 3 books across the middle make a bookshelf. By placing a stick in the top corners with planks below each and a stone slab between them, you'll get a grindstone. Then if you place an iron ingot in every space, you'll get a block of iron. 3 iron blocks across the top with 4 more ingots along the bottom and in the middle gets you an anvil. Items that can be enchanted include all pieces of armour, elytras, weapons, tools, fishing rods, carrots and wart fungus on a stick, shields, shears, flint and steels, books and more. However, some of these items can only be enchanted by combining them in an anvil. Now I'll go through every enchantment in Bedrock Edition in alphabetical order. Aqua Affinity increases the speed at which you can mine whilst underwater and can be applied to helmets. Bane of Arthropods, which can be applied to swords and axes, increases the damage you do to spiders, cave spiders, bees, silverfish and endermites. Blast Protection reduces the amount of damage taken from explosions and can be applied to armour. A trident with channeling will cause mobs to be struck by lightning when it's thrown at them during a thunderstorm. Depth Strider will increase the speed you can swim at and can be applied to your boots, and Efficiency will cause tools to mine their respective blocks faster. Feather Falling is an enchantment for your boots that reduces fall damage. Fire Aspect can go on swords and axes to inflict fire damage against mobs. Fire Protection reduces damage taken from fire and can be applied to armour. Flame is another enchantment that inflicts fire damage, but this is applied to bows. Fortune increases the amount of items that blocks drop and can be applied to tools. Frostwalker is another boot enchantment that allows you to walk on water by turning it into ice and prevents damage from magma blocks. Impaling increases the amount of damage you do to mobs that are in water and can be applied to tridents. Infinity provides you with infinite arrows as long as you have 1 in your inventory and is applied to bows. Knockback increases the knockback effect of swords and axes. Looting increases the amount of items dropped from mobs. It can be applied to swords and axes. When Loyalty is applied to a trident, it will cause the trident to return to the player after they throw it. Luck of the Sea increases the chance of getting good loot from fishing. Lure is another fishing rod enchantment that decreases the time between fish biting. Mending uses XP to repair any damaged equipment that you currently have equipped and can be applied to everything. Multi-Shot is a crossbow enchantment that allows it to shoot 3 arrows for every 1. Piercing allows arrows to pass through mobs and hit any that are behind them. It can be applied to crossbows. Power increases the damage output of arrows when shot from a bow. And Projectile Protection reduces damage taken from projectiles. That can be applied to armour. Protection reduces most damage that you're likely to take, can be applied to all pieces of armour. Punch increases the knockback of arrows that are shot from bows. Quick Charge decreases the charge time of crossbows. Respiration allows you to breathe for longer underwater and can be applied to helmets. Riptide causes the player to be launched when in water or rain and can be applied to tridents. Sharpness increases the damage output of swords and axes. Silk Touch causes most blocks to drop itself when mined and can be applied to tools. Smite does increased damage to undead mobs and can be applied to swords and axes. Soul Speed allows you to move faster on soul sand and soul soil when applied to boots. Thorns causes some damage that you take from mobs to be reflected back at them and can be applied to armour. Unbreaking increases the durability of anything it's applied to, and it can be applied to everything. The last 2 enchantments are ones you're most likely not going to want. Curse of Binding can be applied to any piece of armour or any item you can wear on your head and prevents that item from being removed. The only way to get rid of it is to have the item break or to die. Curse of Vanishing will cause any item that has it applied to it to disappear when you die. Curse of Vanishing can be applied to everything. To use the enchanting table, you place the item to be enchanted in the first slot and lapis in the second, and you'll get this list of available enchantments. The number on the left is how much lapis will be consumed, while the number on the right is how many XP levels you need to have. As you can see, I have 6 levels, so I can pick any enchantment. If I place a bookshelf one space away from the enchanting table, even diagonally, you'll see the number of levels I need for each has gone up by 1. If I place a second, you'll see the level requirement has increased for the third enchantment again, while the others have remained the same. As I only have 6 levels, I can't choose the third one now. The more bookshelves you have, up to 15, the higher the level requirement for each enchantment will be, but the chance for stronger and extra enchantments also increases. You will only ever consume the equivalent amount of XP as lapis though, so 30 is the highest level requirement you'll need for the third enchantment, but it will only ever cost you 3 XP and 3 lapis. With 40 levels, I'll place a sword and some lapis in the enchanting table, and you see I require 4, 9 or 30 levels. If I choose the first with a requirement of 1 lapis and 4 levels, you'll see I only used 1 lapis and 1 level. Now I only have 2 lapis, I can't choose the third enchantment. I don't want Smite anyway, or Bane of Arthropods, so I'll use 1 lapis and 1 XP choosing the first enchantment. I'll take it to the grindstone and put it in the first slot to disenchant it. Now I have a brand new list of enchantments. I want Fire Aspect, but it requires 2 lapis and I only have 1 left, so I'll grab a block of lapis from my chest and turn it into 9 pieces of lapis lazuli. Now I have enough, I'll get Fire Aspect. Then I'll put both swords into an anvil to get 1 sword with both enchantments. Some enchantments are not compatible, such as Bane of Arthropods and Sharpness. The enchantments in the first slot will always overwrite the incompatible ones in the second slot while adding to the compatible ones. Swapping these swords around gives no output because the second slot provides nothing to the first, as Bane of Arthropods would be overwritten, but the first already has Unbreaking 3. Something to watch out for is every time an item is used in the first slot, it requires more levels to combine. Once it requires more than 39 levels, it becomes too expensive to enchant anymore. So that's how you enchant your gear in Minecraft. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please drop me a like if you did and subscribe to see more videos like this. Thank you very much, and I'll catch you in the next one.